What is up, WLTV? It's your boy, the one and only Tally Boy from the 719, you know what I mean? With my special guest and my dear friend, you already know him, Devin Ian Schramm. What's up, my boy?
Hello again, everybody. I have become a regular on this thing.
Right?
It's an honor, and I just hope everyone's doing okay. It's always an honor to be here.
Um, I mean, the reason why we're doing a part 3, let me tell you guys something. Devin Ian Schramm released a new album just recently, and it's fire. But it's not getting the love that it should be getting. So this is going to be basically a promotion video, basically, to this album. I, personally, your one and true boy, your one and
Yes,
true
you
boy,
are.
is featured 3 times on this album. And you know what? I mean, you guys can be the judge of it. I mean, I don't think I'm the best, but some people have been telling me, hyping me up, saying, "Tally boy, man, bro," and I'd be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, like that good?" I was like, "Yeah,
yeah.
right,
Feel free to let both of us know whether it's fire or a.
yeah." And so, yeah, bro. So we're just gonna start off, man. The album is called "Don't Be Silly, You'll Crash It," Volume 2.
Don't be
Because in the
silly,
volume
crash
one,
it.
it was only an extended playlist. It was an EP, and it was like what, 5 tracks, 6 tracks,
Yeah, it didn't even
something,
amount to 15 minutes of music, but this is almost triple that length. It's a whole
right?
4 minutes. This is actually the longest album I've ever made. I'm surprised.
Exactly. When I saw the length of this, 13 tracks, 40 minutes in total. I was like, dang. When you told me it was 40 minutes long, I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh. And I wanted to hear the other stuff that you had on because I was like, I was hearing that you were working with other artists. I was like, you know what, man? It is gonna be a fire album, my boy. So,
Yeah, this project. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, this project
it's so good.
it was all about bringing in like these amazing guests, and I just want to shout all of them out real quick before we get into the gist of it. Obviously Alilo, she's like probably one of the most talented artists I've ever worked with. I mean, besides you, I mean, shouts out to you, obviously. But
Man, don't worry about me, man. Don't worry about me, man. I'm just here to serve. You know what I mean?
yeah, and then
I'm nobody. I'm nobody, man. I'm just saying.
obviously then there's Jaleesa and then PXLMZ. Like they're just so talented. And PXLMZ, shouts out to him. He's like 16 as far as I know, and
Oh,
like
dang.
he can write songs like that, and he's immersed in the music game too. Like he has his own stuff out,
For
which
real.
amazes me that young talent is getting into the game. And even though that style's not particularly my thing most of the time, like what he brought to that one song, I'm Sorry, is I just love it. It's amazing. He's just so talented.
For reals, man. And I'm just gonna ask this before I ask about the songs in specific and how we're just gonna go through each and every one of them from the top to the bottom, and you're gonna explain. You're gonna say how did you come about this idea, or did someone else give you this idea, or what inspired you to make those? But first, before, how did you come up with the title to the album?
All right, so that all started about spring of 2021. I was watching this really good movie that I liked during my childhood called Once Upon a Forest, and I don't know, like I just wanted a working title for this project I was going to start on. And I heard that line in the movie like 10 minutes into the movie where, Abigail's like, "Don't be silly, you'll crash it." And that just stuck out to me as like a working title. But then when it came time to actually record volume 1, I couldn't think of a better title. So that stuck. It stuck.
It was there for a reason, man. It was there for a reason. Because if you ask me, that title actually sticks out. Like what
Yeah.
you said, that when that line, you were hearing that line, it stuck out to you and it just was stuck in your head. Like when you hear one song or you hear a lyric and it's just stuck in your head all day and you
Yeah.
can't get rid of it. Even though you try to listen to other music, it still won't come out of your head, right? So
Yep.
I think that actually worked, bro. I think that was a sign, in my opinion, right?
I think
You know,
so too.
you started off with an intro called Flashing Lights. How did that come about?
Well, as with quite a few of the tracks on this album, um, that started with the main beat from Interlude. Um, and I just wanted to build on the kind of summer vibe that I went for on Volume 1, and just kind of, dare I say it, make a party song pretty much. But yeah, I kind of took the main title from that vocal sample that kind of goes at the beginning and the end. Flashing lights, waking up at midnight. Like, I just love that vocal melody so much, so that had to be the title automatically.
That was actually, I mean, I really love the beat. The beat, shouts out to the producer, Jute, Iner Jute. So shouts out to you, man. He's the one. Is he the only one that produced this album?
He did 7 of the tracks. I produced Weezer, Cameron, the Interlude, End of the Season, Marahute, and what else? I think those were the tracks I produced, and then obviously John made the beat for With You.
Oh yeah, that's right. I even forgot about that. Just so you know, everybody, my little brother, he's becoming a producer and he got really way better at producing than a lot of us here. Because I don't have that talent. I'm just like making a bunch of noises, and he's like, "Yo, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? So Young John Beats, shouts out to you, man. All right, man. So the second song, Summer Cipher. I remember before you answer this question or before you talk about this song, I remember when you sent me the beat to this song, party song, and what was the other one?
Let You Go.
Let You Go. Yep. And I think it was I'm sorry. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I figured
sorry I
that.
couldn't jump on it. I was like, I can't do this, man. I was like, I'm not the right. I don't have the right vibe to that. You know what I mean?
Right,
So I was like,
right.
you know what? But PXLMZ, I mean, he had the exact vibe that goes with it. I think
Yeah,
so. I think
he brought it.
that worked out perfect.
He's from Pennsylvania, where my family runs pretty deep, so that's what I found pretty cool about him.
Oh dang, bro! Because the other day we were talking on a live stream. I don't know if it was the interview, but we were talking about that you were working with an artist from Des Moines, Iowa. I was like, yo, man.
Carter Sauce,
And
yes.
I was like, that's close by. I was like, dang.
And
So
shouts
it
out
was,
to Carter Sauce. I haven't talked to him since I made that song The Power. I mean, he got really popular on YouTube, so he's probably been like super busy with, like his nerdcore raps and stuff, because that's what they call the genre he does, nerdcore, which is based around like all the popular video games and stuff.
oh
But yeah,
dang.
I haven't talked to him in a super long time. I hope he's doing okay.
So back to the song Summer Cipher. How did you come up with that idea? Or well, I know how it came up, but how was this song formed?
Well, as with the intro, I just felt like that was one of the other beats that just felt definitively summer. It felt breezy. It felt like it should represent the feel good vibes of summer. I definitely knew that Damien had to feature on it. He was like my first choice to feature on it, but for the longest time I wasn't quite sure who else to have on it, but then I was like, you know what? I owe Tally Boy a new feature, so he has to jump on this. He has to jump on this. So
I
hence
mean,
I sent it to you.
yeah, bro. Because I know Damien had to be on it because he was the only feature on Volume 1,
Yeah.
which was surprising. I was like, dang, he didn't feature anybody else. I was like, come on, man, Devin's easy to work with. I was like, come on, who doesn't want to work with Devin? But
You
yeah, with
know, the interesting thing is I would have put Party Song 1 on there, but you know, I feel the same way about that song as you do. I just didn't think it turned out perfect enough, and obviously it wasn't nearly as popular as our other collaborations, so I left it off the track list.
oh yeah, party song. I mean, the first one, whew, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought it was good enough, but to the surprise, I mean, a lot of people didn't think the same way. You know what I mean? I mean, you can tell
Yeah,
by the streams. Not a lot of people. I think we were the only ones that saved the song, bro. That was
yeah,
sad. I was like, yo, man, that's a choke.
yeah,
That's a, that was like,
yeah.
dang.
Because our collaborations, like, I mean, even the ones on this album, they're doing crazy good, but that one
Oh,
just it sunk like a ship, and I mean, I'm willing enough to admit that it needed fleshing out. Like,
yeah.
I just it needed some more time spent on it. It doesn't hold up quite as well as a song like The Beginning of the End or Keep Going. I know that for sure.
Yeah, and at the same time, I think, if I remember correctly, you distributed that song, party song, through a Muse instead of what was the other?
Kid. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I used the Muse for that one song, and also for that strange alter ego Eleanor song I did as Jehudi Stewart last year, which, I mean, looking back on it now, that's a bit cringe. And obviously that didn't catch on. Like, that sunk like a ship too.
Oh my, nah, it's all good, bro. I think Amuse just doesn't want to help you. I mean, I'm not gonna. Hey, I'm sorry, Amuse. I'm not trying to, just you know, uh, look at the bright side. But yeah, bro, I remember when Party Song came out, no one even knew about it, and I'd send the song to some people. They'll probably stream it one time or probably not even stream it. I don't know. I don't know if the cover was the problem. I don't know if it was the beat. I don't know if it was us. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But
Even
yeah, man.
with some of the singles for this album, like, I mean, some people are still so reluctant to support my music that some of the comments I get are like, okay, I might take a chance on this song. Like, I mean, that's kind of upsetting that I'm not nearly as popular around here as I seem to be getting everywhere else. Because, I mean, clearly people in your area love my music. I'm getting streamed like crazy up there now for this album.
We were just talking about Party Song, and that
Yeah.
wasn't added to the album. But Party Song Part Two, that was added. So, I mean, if you don't mind, Devin, I want to talk about this song real quick.
We
First,
almost certainly have to talk about that song. But
I remember when Devin sent me the beat, and I was like, you know what? Because it was kind of chill at the beginning. But then that beat just dropped, and I was like, you know what? I
yes.
gotta be on it. I gotta be on it. So I jumped on it. I sent Devin my verse. He mastered it, and it came out beautifully. You know what I mean? I was like, yo. And then we were looking for someone to also be featured on it. A second artist, and that's when we found Julissa.
I mean, Jaleesa, she just brought like a different kind of energy to the track than I think anyone else could have. And she's pretty popular. Like, she's an actual social media influencer, and she's had some of her songs featured in TV shows like
Oh
uh,
dang!
what's that one show called? Love and Hip Hop, I believe it is. She's had
Oh
some featured on shows like that.
oh dang! Shouts out to Julissa. How did you meet her? Was it through social media?
I actually caught her on Fiverr. I saw that she was offering her services for like this super good deal, and then I saw like her I looked up her website, and I saw all the information about her, and I was like, I have to collaborate with this lady, and she was super nice too. Like, shouts out to her again. She was just super chill to work with for this thing, and what she brought, it was just amazing. I love her verse on that song.
Oh yeah, man, me too, man. Because when I heard that, it gave it that summer vibe that we were looking for. I mean, I think that's the most popular song right now from the album, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Let You Go actually is, and I
Let You
think
Go.
both versions actually are getting pretty well streamed right now, but that song is the second most popular, and
Oh.
right now it's one of the songs getting played on internet radio too.
Oh, dang, man. Because I'm not gonna lie, man, when I heard that beat, I had to be on it. I knew it was special. I knew it was special. I was like, you know what? It's gonna be a big hit. And then we remembered when we were talking about what would be the title, what would we write about?
Yeah, because you're actually the one that came up with the idea of it being the party song part 2. So basically,
Yes, sir.
you should be the primary artist on that song. I'm just a footnote.
Oh no, my boy, no. That was your song. You bought the beat. I mean, I'm nobody, man. I just come up with ideas, you know. So I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed being part of this project because it was Summer Cipher, Party Song Part 2, and Let You Go remix. I mean, it was a pleasure. So thank you very much for giving me that chance to be on this album, man. I'm nobody. I am nobody. But thank you very much, man. So the next song on the list, we were just talking about it. It's called Let You Go, featuring Elilo. Elilo? Is that how you pronounce it?
Alilo, yes. Her real
Elilo.
name is Chavez, so I'm guessing that's kind of where she gets it from.
Oh, yeah, because I follow her on Instagram, and I'm not going to lie. She has a big talent, man. She has a big talent.
I like that she's going out to like bars and stuff and actually doing shows. That's what I want to do. But I'm from an area that's mainly country, and I am not country. I digress. That song. She was my first choice to feature on that song, and especially considering how busy she is and the fact that she performed on TV back in February. She was on the I Can See Her Voice show. Like, I was surprised that she actually said yes to this record. But
man.
I mean, when she made time to record her parts, she really brought it. Like, I mean, she did her verses, she did some fire harmony. Like, I mean, she took extra time to go the extra mile, and I respect her for that.
Exactly. And the thing I like that I noticed about Elilo, she is constantly performing and she is constantly posting. That gets her name out. And plus with what she got on the show with I Can See Your Voice. I Can Hear Your Voice.
I Can See Your Voice, yes.
I Can See Your Voice. And she was also on the local news in her area. I mean,
yes, yeah, you saw
that's reals, man. I mean, Elilo, shouts out to you. Much love from Iowa, from Texas, from everywhere. Whoever hears this song is going to hear your talent. And it's awesome to have you on Devin's album. I'm not going to lie. It's awesome, man. It's very awesome.
And obviously that song's another hit from the record right now, too.
For reals. And now that we're talking about Let You Go, we're going to talk about the remix, even though that was one of the...
that's further down the track list.
Further down the track list. It was one of the bonus tracks.
Yeah,
one of the bonus tracks. And so we're just going to skip to Let You Go remix. I was on it. It was a good 8 bars. Pretty easy, pretty chill. I was nervous, bro. I thought I did terrible. Terrible. And then I got awesome feedback for this song. I was like, wait, what? Let You Go remix? I was like, wait, what? Because you posted it on Soundfire at first.
Yeah.
And the amount of love that song got, it calmed me down. I was like, you know what? All right, that's good. And then when it was released on Spotify, awesome feedback that I got from. So I was like, you know what? All right, then maybe it was good being on this song. But at first I was like, you know what? It's a good idea. I'm going to jump on it. But then when I recorded my verse, Woo, I thought I sucked. I was like, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, because one thing I noticed was that Soundfire FM added both versions, which I don't think is very common on there. Like they added both versions to rotation. That
Oh,
that
dang.
that was what caught me by surprise. It's been streamed a few times in Miami where she's from, but it seems like its biggest audience has actually been between Iowa and California, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
think are where the two states in which I'm hottest right now, obviously.
You said it was being streamed in California?
Yes, California and Iowa, which
Oh,
I,
wow.
I, I seem to be very popular in because of all the artists I collaborate with, obviously. Another thing, but before we move on down the track list, was another thing I wanted to elaborate on was what you initially thought of your verse, because I'll never get over the fact that I was working on my computer trying to master your verse, and I noticed that crackle on the line, just in
Oh,
case I die, I want to reconcile, and then I almost made you re-record the whole thing, but then I tried to do it on my phone instead to see if it would turn out any better, and then obviously, it just turned out good, and the rest is history.
and it's okay, bro. It's just 8 bars. It
Yeah.
was it was hot. It was hot that day. I'm not gonna lie. The I think it was the heat that was messing me up, saying I am not good enough for this track. Maybe it was the heat, man, because it was hot in this garage. This is where I
Yeah.
recorded, which is I call it Garage Studios,
I
and
call
Big
it
Greedy
sad.
likes to call it Savage Boys Studios. But oh well. People say, man, let's go to the studio. I'll be like, you mean the garage?
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, back down to the list. Anyways, man, back on to the next song. We talked about Let You Go and then the
Yes.
remix. So now the next song that we're gonna have to go to is Cameron. That was after Let You Go. For those of you that haven't listened to the album yet, that is after Let You Go, the original version. So Cameron, how did you um come about that song?
Um. Of course, that one was the first single, and one of the tracks that I single handedly wrote and produced. But Cameron was the name of one of my students at the day school that I was working at up until April, and like I mean, I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but we just had like a super close teacher-student bond, and after I lost that job, I just felt inspired to write a song with that lyrical inspiration of like just having to be separated from someone you have a close relationship with. So the song just formed from there, and I started with all the like synthesizer soundscapes on GarageBand, and then I took the bass, and then I did some guitar, and it just turned into a rock ballad from there.
Oh yeah, man, because when Cameron you released it as a single this
Yeah,
year.
first
I can't
single. Yeah,
remember exactly when, but it was added to the album, and I was like, you know what? It deserves to be on there, man. Because I heard it was like it had like an emotional sense to it.
yeah,
You actually interpreted it that you're like far away from someone. I was like, wow, you interpreted the right way. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, I can't do that sometimes. I thought I did terrible on Let You Go.
it's like that verse just builds on all the soundscapes, and then the like bass line enters, and then it just slaps you in the face with that emotional chorus, and I just love it. And then it really rocks up after the second chorus when that huge drum beat kicks in. Like that
Yeah.
and that ending guitar solo are my favorite parts of the song.
Oh wow. I actually like the part when the guitar came in.
Yeah,
I was like, you know what? I'll vibe to that. And it was like an emotional vibe. I was like, slow, slow, keep it slow.
yeah, it's a slow song, but I just think that kind of military type drum beat just amps it up to 11, and then you just get that really huge amped up freaking guitar coming in right at the end, and it's just
Oh
emotionally
yeah.
up to 11. Like, I mean, it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written at this point, honestly.
The next song, well, the next track is an interlude. Don't be silly or crash it. Interlude. Can you tell us about the interlude, man?
Yeah, that's sort of a more spur of the moment thing. The intro is a sample from that scene from Once Upon a Forest, which inspired the title of this whole project. And then it just kicks into this huge dance rock thing where you have fat freaking bass, and then that huge distorted guitar enters, and it's on top of all that is these punchy drums that are just creating this dancey groove, this funky groove. And like I think that's another one of the best songs on the album, and it doesn't even have any real lyrics in it. Like I mean, it's just groovy, and it's so rocking.
I really like how you were describing the instruments, the fat freaking bass. Oh, the funky drums. I was like, yo, yo. When you said groovy, that reminded me of the Emperor's New Groove.
Nice. It's
Hey, you want to do an album about that? I just get. Bro, let's do that. I mean, another idea just popped out.
I might find a quote from that movie and name my next album after that. I might just start doing that for all my future albums, just finding obscure movie quotes and naming my albums after them.
Oh,
like, I actually turned the bass all the way up, so it's like, it's just kicking along with those drums on that thing.
heck yeah, man. Oh my goodness. Anyways, just to get rid of this laugh that I have, man, I have the giggles right now. My face muscles are in pain. So all I'm gonna do is just continue with the track list.
Sure.
The next song, Never Let You Down. Can you tell us about that song?
That begins the more personal section of the album. It's kind of a more mellow track, and the lyrics were inspired by cousins of mine whose father recently left the family. So that definitely has a bit more of an emotional weight to it. And I also really like how I did the guitar solo on that song. It's just it has a real flair to it, and I just like that it sort of heightens the emotion of the track,
When I was listening to this album, it went from happy, like summer vibes, but then it got to that personal gap.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, it made me emotional because I was happy. I was happy. At the beginning, I was like, yo, party song, bro. Summer Cipher, man, summer vibes. And all of a sudden it went to Let You Go. That was more of a mellow melody.
But still
And then it
pretty
went down to
summer friendly,
yeah. And then it went down to Cameron. That's when I was like, okay, keep it chill, keep it slow. Then when it got to Never Let You Down, I was like, it got to that point where I was like, you know what? This is very personal, very emotional. So so thank you for explaining about this song, because I'm not gonna lie, when I explain things about my music, when it's like a personal meaning to it, I don't like to express it. I just don't like to, like if I express it to like someone else, like my best friend, maybe I'll do it, I'll explain to him. But like if it's to a stranger, I don't like to really talk about it, you know what I mean? And so now that we're doing it right now for an interview that's for the public, I mean, for me, that sounds like that takes a lot of guts, you know what I mean? I'm not the best at that.
I kind of want to talk a little bit about that too, because you know, the idea for the song, it came to me when I was actually at a party at their house, and then I was kind of hanging with the little kiddos, and you know, I was told all about how, you know, he couldn't, you know, keep himself straight, and then he just ended up kind of up and leaving. And you know, I also promised that I promised my cousins that, you know, I would somehow get them involved in the album. So since I had writer's block for that beat, I just the lyrics sort of flowed out of me that night. It's like, you know, I mean, I used to hang out with these kids all the time, but we haven't seen each other in a long time. But, you know, obviously we love each other. So that's where lyrics like, I will never let you down, I will never leave you lying on the ground come from. It's like, you know, there's an undying love that you give to your family, no matter how apart you may be for so many years.
And what I realized about music, man, it connects people.
Yeah.
It connects people, and not that you can like if you relate to a song, but sometimes it's dedicated to a person in specific, to some people specifically. You know what I mean? So that music, even though you're far away, you can hear their voice, you can hear their hands. You know, like maybe they're producing a song, some instrumentals or something that is dedicated to them. They feel that energy through music. So when I think about that, man, it's like, wow. So and that sounds like a hard situation, man. So that's awesome, man. You dedicated the song to your cousins. Shouts out to your family. You know what I mean? So right on, man.
But before we do move on, you know, I know what you said about sort of like the mood whiplash that happens on this record. I I sort of, you know, Volume One was pretty much all about the summer vibes, and while I came into this record wanting to capitalize on those vibes, obviously with, you know, the first slew of tracks have the definite summer party feeling to them. I also wanted to showcase a more personal side because I feel like I've rarely done that on my last few records because I've gotten so adjusted to like this stream of consciousness writing style where I just I take whatever theme I feel and I run with it even if I don't particularly mean it. You know, it's just I write in the moment, but you know, these few songs on here that they're genuinely me and what I feel in my life, you know.
That's right, man. I mean, I guess most of us artists might have a uh, might relate to that. You know what I mean? Because there are some artists, like I said in the last interview with Jay Stay Spaded, some artists are in this music industry for different reasons. You know, for money, for attention. But there
Yeah.
are those artists like us who use it to express ourselves. Sometimes we don't even care about the money. We don't care if people don't listen. Sometimes, you know,
Right.
we just release it. Sometimes we'll just release it just on YouTube or just on a
And
specific platform.
and then
Sometimes
just
we don't
let
even
things
release
happen.
it, and I think that's a very good thing that some of us artists can relate to because that personal side of our lives can connect us. The next song is "I'm Sorry" featuring Palms, PXLMZ. For those,
Yeah,
it's pronounced Palms for everybody that
I,
doesn't know.
I'm actually not even clear on that because I've heard it pronounced both ways, but we're just gonna call him Ryan for now because I don't want to butcher this and embarrass him on this thing. But yeah,
Sup, Ryan? Sorry, my boy.
you're good. But yeah, again, he just brought a whole new level of like talent to this song, and considering that he's 16 as far as I know, and he's a really good at like this emo vibe, and he, like I said, he's immersed in music. He's actually recording and distributing all of his own stuff too, which, you know, I
That's
really
right.
I love seeing, that there's just young talent getting that involved, because I was well over 20 before I started taking things seriously. I mean, I was in the game when I was 18, but I just started becoming really prolific when I was 20. And just the fact that there are still people who are essentially kids getting into music amazes me. But yeah, this song is another really emotional, personal one. Um, I wanted to write lyrics repenting some of the, screwed up things I've done in the past, because mind you, I've been a jerk in my past. Like, I mean, it doesn't show nowadays, but I I was once a bully. I really did spray paint a bus seat. I avoided getting in trouble by lying about it, but it did happen though. And there's a lot of things that I regret, and obviously I have suffered from depression before. So this song was really a good way to just get all those feelings out.
And this song, man, I'm just gonna give it to you, man. I mean, that was a good song, man. It wasn't just Palms who interpreted this song very well. It was you as well. The flow and the story that you were telling just went with the beat. It was awesome, you know what I mean? And not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can do that.
Thank
And
you.
shouts out to Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Palmer. Yes, yeah. That's one of my other favorite songs on this thing too.
Yeah,
Honestly,
and I think that's one of the most popular songs on this album as well, right?
I think it's about the sixth most popular, because I know that Cameron and Weezer are really streaming good right now too, but that's like behind those two songs. I'm Sorry is behind those two songs rather.
And the next song is I Miss You.
Hmm.
And I think this is also another personal song, right? Like another emotional song, I mean.
This I think this is sort of the last of all the personal songs on the thing, and not counting the Let You Go remix. I believe it's the last song on the album that Enair was involved with too. It was inspired by a breakup I went through, which probably manifests itself through sort of the raw emotion of the lyrics. I sang in an upper register for the chorus, which I really don't do much because I hate how my higher range sounds. But I did definitely try to experiment with that on that track for the chorus. And the vocals on this song, they're louder than the music because I wanted them to be really upfront and in your face with all the emotion and stuff. And of course, they're dry. They don't have a whole lot of reverb on them either.
Okay, so there was a reason for the mastering and the mixing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are probably going to complain about that, but that is how I wanted the song to sound. I wanted it to sound, like not extremely overproduced. I mean, there's some obvious auto tune on there. I wish I'd spend a little more time tweaking that a little bit, but it is supposed to sound very in your face, dry. And I mean, it really shocks me that radio actually picked that up, and it's getting some spins on like the adult contemporary station now, because I don't think that's a very radio friendly song on this album. But whatever it is, I guess. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a good song. I mean, it's emotional, but if people can relate to it, then I'm a happy camper.
I agree that it is what it is, you know what I mean? So there's always a reason why the artist mixes it and masters it in a certain way. Because
Yep.
there are some people that, it doesn't sound professional, or
Right.
the lyrics aren't this and that, or it doesn't sound right. Well, there's a reason. Sometimes it is because we don't have the equipment, or because sometimes we want it that way.
Yep.
So if there's someone that doesn't want to listen to it, well, don't listen to it. If it's your type of music, well, there it is. You know what I mean? So that's very interesting. I did not expect that response for the song. So shouts out to you, my boy, for
Thank you.
for that, man. Thank you for explaining many things. And the next song is Weezer.
I'm gonna have fun talking about this one for sure.
Exactly. Oh, and before you talk about it, man, I remember when you took out this song. It wasn't released on the exact day that you wanted it to be released, right?
Yeah, I had to hurdle some stuff before I released it on platforms because I put it up on SoundCloud first before I announced Cameron as the actual first single. But
Oh, okay.
ironically, the Weezer song ended up becoming a lot more popular than that one. But I'll get back to that, when I discuss it in a minute. But
Okay.
yeah, the hurdles I had to jump were like getting the whole interpolation of the actual Weezer song "Beverly Hills" cleared, because I had to reach out to Rivers Cuomo, that band's lead singer, to get permission to use that interpolation. So obviously I wouldn't get in trouble or anything. Rivers Cuomo, the actual lead singer of the legendary band Weezer, for the
Oh,
record.
wow.
Um, but yeah, I managed to get everything cleared, and that's when I released the song on platforms. And I put that one up on the Amazing Radio website too, and it started picking up airplay. That's why
Oh,
I had such a blast just recording this song and throwing in all those references to their songs and the lyrics. Island in the Sun, looking like Buddy Holly. Then there's other songs like It Feels Like Summer and It's a Perfect Situation. Like, those are all references to their songs that are just peppered into my lyrics.
and the fact that you got permission from the lead singer, that blows my mind because when this song was released as a single, there were some people that I was with and they were like, you know what, man? I was listening to um Devin's song because they stream your music
Oh,
and
cool.
they heard the song Weezer. And I told them, yeah, he actually got the permission to upload it actually to all platforms. And they were like, what? From who? I said, I don't know. I mean, you can ask him, but I mean, I'm glad you clarified that, man. That's actually pretty awesome, pretty interesting for for this song. Because I remember when there was like you were mentioning some trouble uploading it,
Yeah.
and that, and then all of a sudden you got the permission from the band. I mean, I found that mind blowing.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And like I said, that they're my favorite band in the world. Like, I mean, I'm just influenced by them to no end. And I actually saw them in concert last summer, already almost a year ago, and they were amazing. To have that connection and to have written and performed this song that's pretty much a tribute to everything they've done, that really just means a lot to me.
And it means a lot for those artists out there. To some fans, it means a lot when they text you, "Yo, man, I'm a big fan. If you can shout me out, or if you can answer my text, you don't ignore them, man. You gotta shout them out, man, because they're the ones who are supporting you. They're the ones who are showing love to you. You know what I mean? Love to your music, saying, "Yo, I like your music. I really love your music." So you gotta show love back to them, because next song we already talked about "Let You Go" remix. So we're
Correct.
gonna head on to the next track, "With You," on the album mix. Can you talk
Yes.
to us a little bit about that?
So obviously, with you, it it actually came out exactly a year ago. I think it was a year ago today. The original came out. I got memories again on Snapchat about all the links I posted last year. So that
Oh,
song
a year ago today.
a year ago today. Yes, that song
Oh,
came a year ago today. The original
on the
thing.
6th, huh?
Yes.
July 6th. I remember that. We were doing a live stream today.
Yeah.
No, not today. not today. It was before, but we were talking about that you were gonna release a song on July 6th, and I was like, you know what? Everybody's releasing music on July 6th.
Yeah.
You remember that? I was like, yo, that's awesome. My favorite rapper was releasing content on July 6th. It was awesome. I was like, yo, why is everybody doing that? But I remember it was July 6th that you released that song. I
Yeah,
just remember. Thank you for reminding me.
you bet. So it's the perfect time to talk about that song. Um, but yeah, that song was obviously a single, and it was originally going to be on Volume One, but then, I sort of started getting second thoughts about the mix on it, and I was like, no, I can just leave this as a standalone track. I was kind of finishing up sessions for this particular record, and I felt like I needed another bonus track that I had not released yet, because I feel like, it was really unconventional of me to just keep dropping bonus tracks off this thing. But I went back into the BandLab mixing editor, and I fixed some things on the song. Obviously, I took the little filters off all the vocals and stuff, and I added some reverb and a bit more compression, and I also sort of extended that falsetto thing, in the middle. Um,
My parents really love that part, by the
yeah,
way.
that's what you said. But yeah, I just fixed a lot of things about it, and in the end, I liked it a lot better. I just felt like it represented summer, and to attach that to the end of the record to give a last hurrah for the summer feel on the album, I just felt like that was the best thing to do, and it was total divine intervention, because the new mix is just so perfectly summer.
When Young John Beats, my little brother, produced this song, I think he's had it for a while now. I think it's a year or 2 years old.
Mm.
3 year old, 3 years old maybe. And that was one of his
Too,
best beats.
we started working to, I think it's about 2 years old, because we started working together 2 years ago almost.
Oh, okay. Because I remember when this beat was produced, I was like, yo, man, that is a good beat. I should upload this as a Devin and Schramm type beat
Yeah,
on your channel. I created the little background video,
from
and
Dream.
yeah, and then when you saw that, and then I think it was Big Greedy that said, "You can use it."
Yeah.
I was like, don't pressure the dude, right? But yeah, he turns out Devin actually used it, and I was like, yo,
Yeah. I wanted to use it from the get-go, because my first thought when I heard that beat was, considering how eclectic I am, and I will do almost anything to the music anyone gives me, I was like, I I think I can do something with this. I think this is a song, a potential song. And you know, I asked him if I could I asked John if I could use it, and then, the idea just built from there.
and this is the album mix that we're talking about. There was the standalone version, the single version. Uh, you'll hear the vocals a little bit different. You'll hear the mixing in them.
Yeah.
It sounds a little different. And when you listen to the album mix, in my opinion, I really like the album mix. It was more relaxing. The other one was also relaxing, but I think it was more like of a summer vibe. The original. This one is also as well, but this one I can fall asleep to.
You see, I feel like the album mix, the reason I feel it's just a lot more summery is because, I went through a phase where I just really loved throwing that freaking distortion filter on every vocal track I laid down. Well, I mean, at one point I had to, because I think it was when I was recording Volume One, or some of the singles before it. My mic was acting up. I was having trouble with all the levels and stuff, but that distortion filter kind of hid that a bit. But I back to how I feel about the album mix. I think it better represents summer, because just that reverb on top of the vocals. Like it's not so dry. I I like the vocals better when they just have something, like reverb or echo behind them, because just feel like, that puts you in a trance pretty much, because I'm definitely in a trance when I listen back to it. It just feels more like something I would want to revisit during the summer for sure.
Yeah, I really like this song, especially this mix. It gave it a special feeling. So I really like that, man. That's pretty awesome. And the last track to this album,
We're down to
it,
the end, aren't we?
yep, down to the end of the season. Marahoot?
uh
Is it Marahoot?
Marahute, you're close. Marahute.
End of the season, Marafute outro. This is the outro to the album.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about the outro?
So that's another piece that I single-handedly wrote and produced, and that was actually, fittingly enough, the very last thing that was made for the album, because that backbeat I had sitting around on GarageBand for a while. I think I was gonna actually make a lyrical song or like a freestyle or something with it, maybe like 6 months or so ago, and it's like, I got to thinking when I was just getting ideas, I might, since, it's based on just making percussive sounds with my acoustic guitar, I was like, I could maybe throw some guitar over this. And I built it from there.
I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed listening to that outro. I was like, you know what? I really like that guitar, man. Because I don't know, when you play the guitar, it sounds really really nice, really mellow.
Thank you.
Unless you go dun, 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 big guitars, I
Yeah,
really like that.
power chords, you better watch out.
But yeah, man. So that comes to the end of the album. But I also had a couple questions that I was gonna ask after, and I forgot them. For those of you that do not know about this, we have a playlist that is called Savage Summer. So all of the music that Savage Boys Entertainment has released that has a summer vibe to it or is related to summer is going to be added to that playlist. I haven't added all of them. I still got to do that. But if anybody really wants to check that playlist out, it's going to be in the description. So I hope you guys can listen to that on Spotify. I'm going to probably have to do one on other platforms so that other people that use those platforms can listen to this playlist, because I'm not going to lie, I got a good feeling about that. So can you rank your favorite songs from the most favorite to the least favorite from this album, if you can, because there are a lot of tracks. There are 13 tracks, and if you don't want to, you can do a top five or a top three. You know what I mean?
I'm fine with doing a top five, because there's at least five from here that I really want to like go stratospheric.
Okay.
But I mean, number one is definitely Cameron. I feel like, that one has just been super underrated since it dropped. Because, like I said at the beginning, it just, I love all my guitar work and my bass work in that song, and just, that build up from the verses, and then just that emotional washover with that chorus, just a wall of sound of emotion. Then that huge guitar solo that just pops in at the end under those military drums, that easily has to be my favorite track on the album. Then definitely coming in at number two has to be Let You Go. Obviously that song was just, I had a lot of passion to make that song, and obviously getting to actually do it with the Lilo like I planned on was really amazing. Then number three, you're gonna love this one, Party Song Part 2.
Oh, I love that one. I'm not gonna lie. I think "Let You Go" is way better than "Party Song Part 2." But at the same time, I really love "Party Song Part 2." It's just a whole different vibe. You know what I mean?
It is, and I'm actually kind of glad that it's getting some level of attention, you know what, with the radio ad and stuff. Because if any song from this album is like gonna reach the masses, it will definitely be that song. Because you know, it's so feel good, and it's welcoming of all the summer vibes that the album stands for. That part of the album stands for, you know. And I mean, I just love it, and I certainly love it better than the original. So I mean, it was a step up from that, of course.
I was literally just gonna say that. It's way better than part one. Party song, the original version. I mean, it was made in a rush.
Yeah,
Basically, it was made quickly. But we liked it. The two of us liked it. I mean, maybe the audience didn't find it good, maybe, but I liked it. I mean, it was a good vibe. And
right.
Party Song Part Two, it just came out better. I mean, we knew it was that beat was special. We already knew what to write to it. You know what I mean? The beat is kind of similar to the original beat. It had like a little party vibe to it on both.
It's got a very pulsating boom, boom, boom. That's almost just perfect to like play at a summer party or a pool party, you know.
And the thing is, people have been telling me, "Yo, you've been making a lot of party songs." I
Yeah,
said, "Yeah, I know, man. I was on Party All Night, Party Song Part Two, Summer Cipher, which had a little party in it."
yeah, yeah. I like, and you know, funny you mentioned that because that song is next. That's
Oh
number
wow!
just simply because you know, I mean, just like always, you know, you really brought it. You brought your best, and I mean, from the get go, I thought that was one of your best verses you've delivered. And I know you don't like the sort of sing songy thing you do at the beginning of the verse, but I think it fits very well, honestly. I was also going to mention that you know I also really love how you come in on that little outro there, because you know like just I don't know what to really say. I'm getting in a loss for words for everything here lately, but that outro is really so good, and it serves as such a nice cap off to that song, especially you know after Damien's verse, which I mean, shout out to him too. He really brought his all on this track, and I like that verse a lot better than his verse on Time Goes By, honestly. But
Oh
it's
man!
just such a good song.
For those of you that don't know, "Time Goes By" is a track that Devin and Damien Royal have on "Don't Be Silly, You'll Crash It"
Volume 1.
Volume One. Because actually, I mean, I think he did really good on that song, man. I mean, no doubt about it. It was actually it was a good option to, it was a good choice to put him in there. You know what I mean?
I think so too, because you know, I feel like things like that are just up his alley, and he had to do those songs, you know.
Yep, yep. Because if you know Damien, he has a certain style, but at the same time, he's good at different styles. You know what I mean? And sometimes he doesn't release different styles. You know, I heard one song where Damien was going one style, then a different style, then a different style, then a different style, and the rest of the song was just an instrumental. I was like, whoa, one more song to complete the top five list.
One more song, and dun dun dun. That song is Weezer.
Weezer.
Listening to Weezer is all it takes to please her. But yeah, you know, I obviously have to include that one in my top 5 ranked down because, again, special creds to Weezer and Rivers Cuomo and company. You know, just I enjoyed that song, working on that song so much, and just being able to have that song out, and just having been able to make a tribute to, you know, my favorite band of all time. It just, that definitely has a special place in my discography.
And that is actually a good choice to have as a part of the top five, because I'm not gonna lie, the privilege you had to get permission from the band itself to release that song. I mean, it has to be on the top 5 list, you
Yeah.
know? So, congrats to you, my boy. And I did not realize the time. It's been over an hour.
Hey, our longest interview yet. What do you know?
The longest live stream that I've done was 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
3 hours exactly. It was 3:00. You know what I mean? I was like, wow.
Wow.
It was 3 hours long. Devin was part of it, but he wasn't live with me. He was, you know, I can't remember. I think you were at work. But yeah, it was.
I think I was still at Applebee's at that time. Yeah.
Yep. And so it was awesome that, you know, we have that chemistry when we're on a live stream. We actually talk to each other. We enjoy talking to each other
Heck yeah.
about music, about personal things. Sometimes it doesn't have to do anything with music. You know what I mean? If you have seen our live streams, we talk a lot about a lot of stuff. You know,
Oh yeah.
like that 3-hour live stream. It was more about what did we call it? What was it called?
Vibes in the studio or something like that.
No, it was that was the first live stream when I met you. Vibes in the studio, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, positivity in the studio.
Yeah.
Positive vibes in the studio. Exactly. That was the first time I actually saw you.
Yeah.
You know, like when I met you, because we did the beginning of the end, and I think we did keep going.
Keep going. Yep.
After that live stream, it was can't remember what that live stream was. The 3-hour one. I call it the 3-hour live stream, but it had a title to it. If you want to check that video out, it's on my Instagram. You'll see it up here somewhere, you know, up there, you know, somewhere up there where our Instagram usernames will pop up. And if not, well, I'll just put it in the description, the link to our Instagrams. And you can follow us to show love, and we'll show love back, you know what I mean? Because we're artists all about the people. Sometimes. But all right, everybody, thank you very much. This was a pleasure, Devin, to do this interview. It's been a 1-hour interview. Hopefully I can edit this. If I can't, well, it's going to be a bummer because I really enjoyed this, man. And not a lot of people have seen it. So I hope I can release this at least in parts, 20-minute parts. It's going to probably be like 4 or 5.
Whatever you want to do, man. But yeah, pleasure is totally mine. This has certainly been, I think this has been the most fun interview we've done together so far.
For reals, man. So thank you very much, man, for hopping on this and talking about your album. Because I really enjoyed the album, but it doesn't have the love that it should have. People have to show love, man. If you don't like it, well, all right, then well, you don't have to listen to it. We're not obligating you. But also, man, show love to Devin and listen to the songs. If you want to text us your favorite song, we'll go ahead, man. But thank you very much, everybody, and peace out.
Peace.